Good evening. How you guys are doing? Man, there's been a lot going on as far as recruiting. Here in Birmingham, we got the USFL. Excuse me. Obviously, I'm following the Fan Control Football League because DeAndre Francois plays in that. So, got a lot going on, man. I just want to touch base with y'all tonight. I got a great video for y'all. I want to say this moving forward. Anybody that has a story to tell, whether it be from your experience of a fan, player, I talked to somebody on Facebook, they talked about they was in the band, and you want to share that story, I'm all ears. You can write it to me, email, text, get my number and call me, and I would love listening to your story. Like I said, I have a lot of good stories of traveling to different places to watch games, so it's not an issue, but I love to hear those type of stories. I'm doing a new series, and it's called United, which is strictly about empowering and inspiring the next generation as well as ourselves to be better. And I got a big interview coming up with the owner of Fly B, who I went to high school with and played football with, and that's going to be coming at y'all soon. But today's video is about the heartbreaking postseason loss. We only lost one ACC championship. That's in there. And we had some bowl games that we lost, and some of them were very, very hurtful to me, and I cried about them. So I thought about this, and this is some of the heartbreaking, some of those games, which I'm working on a video right now coming up about heartbreaking regular season losses. Regular season loss that made you scratch your head and say, like, how did that happen? And then also I'm going to do the best wins we've had in the regular season and best postseason wins besides the 3 national championships, because anybody can state one of those. So it's just kind of fun. I get to go back. Like I say, I always appreciate the SID department at Florida State because the information is on every platform. It's Google, Bing, it's everywhere. It's easy to find, and they do a good job. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the heartbreaking postseason losses. And I'm going to start the conversation off with my number 11, which would be the ACC Championship December 4th through 2010. Number 12, Virginia Tech 44, and number 20, Florida State 33. So first year for Jimbo Fisher, we make it to the ACC Championship. We lose. They beat Miami and Florida in the same year. First time they beat Florida in a while. And Urban Meyer was the coach. And they got there, and maybe a couple of players away, or maybe ran out of gas, but we didn't get it done. And I really thought we would win this game. But we ended up ending on a high note because we went to the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl and beat South Carolina, so that was pretty good. But that game just kind of, you encapsulated just how close we was, and just really how close Bobby Bowden was. But this is the first 10-win season Florida State had since 2003, and I thought that was just a heartbreaking loss for those young men that are buying in. But a lot of times any Florida State fan will tell you it's the losses that make the champions, and it's the rebound and it's the response from the loss, and normally we used to respond pretty well. So that was one of them in there. And moving on to number 10, which is going to be the 1958 Bluegrass Bowl in Louisville, Kentucky, and it's going to be December 13th, 1958, Oklahoma State 15, Florida State 6. So we were going bowling. We had a couple of bowl losses before this, but I thought this loss was very impactful to the building of the program back then, because a lot of times people don't even know they really didn't even want Florida State to have a football program, and some people were trying to disband the program. And they made it to a bowl game, and those guys, a lot of people don't know, really until Bobby Bowden got there, Florida State was kind of homecoming high, homecoming U. They really wasn't a program that was generating money, and they played a lot of homecomings, and they weren't very successful. They had great players, obviously, Lee Corso, Fred Biletnikoff, Ron Sellers, a couple of other guys, but they just were not successful as they were in the late 70s, in the mid 70s, late 70s and the 80s and 90s, and then when Jimbo Fisher took over. but that's a very tough loss to lose, especially for a program that's trying to find its way. So we move on to the 1968 Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, December 30th, 1968. LSU 31, number 19, Florida State 27. And again, this is one of those games in the early part where Florida State's building. Obviously, they're ranked and they're trying to establish themselves, and got beat by LSU. Very, very hard win, especially when you're coming in as a ranked team playing an unranked team, and obviously a team from the SEC, and you fall short. It's very hurtful to the fan base, the players, and the alumni. But again, this is one of those building block type deals, and we were doing a lot of building back then. So I know a lot of you older fans will remember that, but that was a very tough loss, very hurtful loss. But obviously we moved on from it, and you learn from it. And then we move on to my my number 8, which would be the 2005 Orange Bowl. Obviously Miami, Florida, January 3rd, 2006. Number 3, Penn State 26. Number 22, Florida State 23 in overtime. Now this was a great game. This is one of those games where I thought Jimbo Fisher, excuse me, not Jimbo Fisher, but I thought, how do I say this? Jeff Bowden called a bad game. And it kind of just seems that he called a bad game, but the team found a way to rally and was very close, but we didn't get it done. Overtime. But anytime, I thought Florida State was the better team, and we lost this game in overtime. And I think this is one of those games that I actually cried just because I was so disappointed we didn't win. So I I don't know if y'all remember that one, but that one was a tough one to swallow because we were the better team on the field that day. So now we move to the number 7. I have the 2002 Nokia Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, Louisiana, January 1st, 2003. Number 4, Georgia 26. Number 16, Florida State 13. I'm not going to say we're the better team, but I think if Chris Ricks played, maybe it would have been a different story. Maybe not, but I thought Anquan Bolden did a tremendous job filling in at quarterback, and Georgia just took it to us, but we had our chances, and that was a very tough loss. Bobby lost to Mark Rick. The guys played hard, and really that was a season where it was a lot of ifs and shoulds, and things didn't go their way, and for that senior class to go out like that, kind of difficult. So that's why I have that on the list, just because of how the seniors overcame and fought, and then got to New Orleans, and Chris Ricks missed an exam. And don't get me wrong, I love Chris Ricks. He had issues with his dad. I think his dad was sick or ill, and he just missed an exam, and that happens sometimes. People make mistakes, but ultimately the backup quarterback couldn't perform, and they had to put Anquan Bolden in. His first pass, I want to say, hits Talman Gardner or somebody, hits them dead in the hands. They dropped it, 50, 60-yard bomb, and they drop it, and I was just like, oh man, this is going to be a long day. So that was a hurtful loss, and I have that on the list. And then moving on to the number 6 would be the 2003 Orange Bowl, January 4th, 2004, Miami, Florida. Number 10, Miami 16. Number 9, Florida State 14. This is the game I thought we should have won. I thought we were the better team. I thought Miami got away with the rain in Tallahassee. This was a pretty night, beautiful night, and I think Miami dominated the defensive line, and we had our shots, we had our chances, and we did not capitalize on it, and in turn couldn't score a touchdown. We scored 1 touchdown and got 2 field goals and could not get it done, and I really thought this team would got it done. No, we scored 2 touchdowns, I'm sorry. We missed the extra point. So again, those things add up, but I thought this was the best opportunity for Florida State to finally beat Miami, and we just didn't get it done. This was a frustrating loss for everybody. Really, we shouldn't have been in this game because we should have beat Clemson, and we should have been in the Sugar Bowl playing for the national championship that year. So that was a tough loss for me. Now, you give me your opinion, your thoughts, but again, like I say, this is just all opinion. So if you have remember a loss in the postseason, please let me know, and I'll comment on it or try to correct some things. I love to chatter, but I just thought this loss in particular to Miami in the Orange Bowl, first time we played them in a bowl game, I thought we were the better team that night. We did not execute. Number 5 will be the 2015 Peach Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia, December 31st, 2015. Number 14, Houston, 38. The number 9, Florida State Seminoles, 24. And yes, I was at this game. And to me, Florida State came out, did not take Houston serious. Houston came out fired up with a chip on their shoulder, point to prove that they wanted to play and they wanted to belong. And from the start of the whistle, they shut down Dalvin Cook, took it to Florida State. In the second half, Florida State woke up, started playing better, tried to fight back in the game, but eventually the momentum and Houston outlasted them. This is the second year in a row where Florida State got outcoached and outplayed in a bowl game. And this one here is you can kind of see on the field that Florida State may have been a better team, but they didn't want it. And Houston wanted this game, so this was a very frustrating and very kind of heartbreaking loss to me. Now moving on to number 4 would be the 1998 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, and it was played in Tempe, Arizona, January 4th, 1999. Number 1 Tennessee, 23. Number 2 Florida State, 16. I talked about this game. I don't have to keep going into it, but Florida State was the better team from top to bottom. Missed a quarterback, struggled all day. Coles and Dugans had a monster game. The defense took a couple of big shots but bounced back, and we still had a chance to get in the game. Not only get in the game, but win the game. And Marcus Outsum threw an interception. And so if you take away the turnover, it's a tied game. Even without Winky, you take away the interception for a touchdown, it's a tied game. Even with the big shots that Peerless Price had on Mario Edwards, he had one pass and he had one for a touchdown. It's still a tied game. So the interception for a touchdown separated the game, and then Outsum had the ball with a chance to drive for the winning touchdown, and he threw another interception. And that really hurt me because I thought Florida State was probably 3 touchdowns better than Tennessee, and they lost. So that's kind of the loss that really, it still bothers me today. Now moving on to my number 3 game, which would be the 2000 Orange Bowl, and that's going to be in Miami, Florida, January 1st, 2001. Number 1 Oklahoma, 13. Number 3 Florida State, 2. I really don't have an answer for this one here. For whatever reason, the wide receivers weren't catching, weren't separating. Obviously, we missed Snoop Menace. I thought the defense fought as long as they could fight, keeping it close. Oklahoma kind of wore them down because the offense didn't really do nothing. And this is probably Chris Winky's worst game. Worst game since the North Carolina State game. But overall, they just did not get it done, did not execute. And this was a chance to be the repeat national champion, something that we've never done. Out of our 3 national championships, we never repeated, and Oklahoma just took it to them. So this is kind of an all-night frustration and crying, because I know if they can get a touchdown, they can get back in the game. But we didn't get it done, and we lost. Oh well. Moving right along to the number 2 game I have, which would be the 1980 Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, January 1st, 1981. Number 4 Oklahoma, 18. Number 2 Florida State, 17. Close game, 1-point loss, but a lot was on the line there. I think if Florida State win this game, this is another opportunity if they can lay claim or lay a stamp to a national championship, and we didn't get it done. Another loss to Oklahoma. Very frustrating, and like I say, for older fans, they remember some of these games and just how close we were before we won in '93 to winning a national championship. that some people don't tend to remember or tend to understand. Florida State's been close for a long, long time. Now moving right along to the three games I think that are tie, and all these games are very serious because these had undefeated seasons and at least a share of a national championship on the line. And I'm going to start with my three. This is number one, and these are my three. And this would be the 1996 Sugar Bowl in New Orleans, played on January 2nd, 1997. Number three Florida 52, number one Florida State 20. This is really the first time I'd ever seen Bobby Bowden, Mark Richt, and Mickey Andrews out-coached, out-schemed. Steve Spurrier and his staff did a tremendous job of adjusting and controlling the defense, which is the same thing they done in the swamp in '97. Went to quicker passes, shotgun draws, hitting the running backs, negating that dominant Florida State pass rush. And this is a game where it was close at halftime and Florida pulled away. Warrick Dunn went out. But one thing I will take away from this game, and I like to tell all the Noles fans this, is that when the announcers were talking about the game and they were mentioning just these teams will be in better position in the future and Florida State will be back, that Florida State was loaded. We just didn't know that we would win a national championship and play in three national championship games besides this one here. So that was a tough pill to swallow for me because we lost that game. Another one, this one right here, I think I cried for 2 days. The 2014 Rose Bowl, which was played in Pasadena, California, January 1st, 2015. Number three Oregon 59, number two Florida State 20. I will never forget, I was on the section on the ground and everybody was talking about kind of Bama, Ohio State, and a man named John Amos, Farmer we called him, said, when do you think Florida State's going to lose? I said, I don't see them losing in the next 5 or 6 years because they're loaded. And I'll never forget watching this game, and I remember when they went for it on fourth down and Jameis Winston tried to run it in and we thought he scored and they replayed it and he didn't, and I was still in shock. Like, I think I literally, at this time, I remember I watched the game at my brother's apartment in Gardendale, Alabama, and I remember going to Kmart, and I remember picking up an Ultimate Warrior doll, because this is after he died, and then I just went home and closed the door and cried. I don't think I came out for 2 days because I didn't believe we'd lose. I literally thought, everybody kept asking me, are you going out to Pasadena? I said, no, I'm going to Dallas because we're going to either play Alabama, Ohio State, and we're going to win this national championship. Never happened, never got there, and it still bothers me today. The hurt, the pain, the frustration of that game. I don't know any Seminole fan that's okay with what happened that day. Like, we're still hurting from that game. So that's one of them. And then the last one I have would be the 1979 Orange Bowl in Miami, Florida, January 1st, 1980, and it pits number 5 Oklahoma. And they had 24 to number 4 Florida State 7. This is another chance where Florida State could have went undefeated and possibly shared the national championship. And again, we didn't get it done. This is the early years of how Bowden built the team, and he was able to get these big games in the bowl game, and we really had a shot at winning the national championship before 1993. So in this video, I covered some of the heartbreaking losses to me in the postseason, in the bowl games. I got a lot of other things in the works, working, doing this. I enjoy doing it. I hope y'all have a great week. I'll see you guys again. Go Noles, and let's keep it alive, keep the memory going, keep the fun going, and I hope this season is everything all of us want it to be. Hopefully we win way more games than we lose and get to a bowl game and start to reestablish ourselves as a national power. So I'll see y'all later. Y'all be good. Bye.